to show our dedication towards the scriptures and towards Srila Prabhupada, right? Then inappropriate references, we'll try and avoid inappropriate references. Refers to like we basically expect you to quote from Srila Prabhupada's purports and lectures only. No other preacher outside of the purports, we will be encouraging you to quote them. So we accept and we basically mark you on that. So we really don't encourage any content out of Srila Prabhupada's purports and lectures. Vague quotes implies to a similar thing, something which we may have heard in a classroom that may be very well, it must be very well true, but here we are not quoting that, right? Assessment rubric refers to a set of guidelines. So here is a summary of bullet points about the presentation skills. Avoids irrelevancy and redundancy. Basically, we must avoid the verses and purpose stuff from the scriptures which is not relevant to the theme of that particular question. If we are talking about one particular theme, we must be sticking to that particular theme. Redundancy, repeatedly, see, we have already quoted one particular verse or one particular sentence or quotation from Srila Prabhupada's purports, but we don't need to like repeat it. That will not be a very nice, presentation. Using quotations appropriately, using them, reading them, and applying them suitably to suit the needs and the demands of that particular question. Observes limits. So this is an important point to be noted. We must not go too like overboard with the number of words. We expect you to present around 1,000 words, and we expect you to stick to the number of words. Marks might be deducted in case the words are exceeding too much. Layout. So the layout implies to basically the essay looks more presentable if we have them divided in a set of paragraphs, one introductory paragraph, a content paragraph, and a conclusory paragraph. So it looks much more presentable. Sequential development refers to the chronology. Basically, we go step by step with the event, like in the eventual pattern. When the first event is happened later on, we go by the chronological order. What are the forms of open book assessment? So the question which you will be getting will always have a theme. So the themes are illustrated here. Understanding base. Understanding base is self-explanatory. It basically expresses your philosophical understanding on the concept, the concept which is mentioned in the question. Personal application refers to how will you apply this particular principle in your personal devotional life. Okay. Preaching application refers to when you're particularly catering to a new audience, how you will present this principle, how this principle is valid, and what sort of questions they might be having and apprehensions. So how will you present that? Preaching application particularly needs certain examples which you may need to quote from a daily devotional practice. Mood and mission. So this, you have to find out the mood of Srila Prabhupada and relevance to the theme, and you have to elaborate on that. There are seven missions ISKCON. So you have to find out which one it is catering to and how it is satisfied by this particular principle and elaborate on it. Vaishnava integrity, it refers to when we have to justify non-Krishna conscious point. We have to justify that. For example, like people may say like for bhakti, they might forego for renunciation, they might forego their needs of like for maintaining a family, for taking care of their family, their loved ones. So we must not compromise that. It refers to that, like when we use non-Krishna conscious, how we justify that. So people may not, that refers to basically Vaishnava integrity. Culture and etiquettes is basically the Vaishnava principles, how they are, this particular theme is applying to the Vaishnava community. Vaishnava qualities refers to how these qualities are valuable in the, how these Vaishnava qualities are valuable in your devotional service. The grading structure. So the grading structure is definitely not to scare you, rather to encourage you. So here we have a grading structure which reveals, so that we all must be marked. We must know how we have performed, how much room of improvement is there. It's not to to compare with each other who has scored more or less. It's rather for our own betterment and our own comparison, that how well we can perform, how much more there's room for improvement, basically. So we call it exceptional score if you score between 100 to 90, excellent if you score between 89 to 80, and good between 79 to 70, average 69 to 60%. And we have to ask you to resubmit if you score below 50%. So the passing mark for the open book assessment is 50%. The weightage which the OBA carries in the total percentage of your cumulative percentage, that is 65%. But here the passing mark is below 50%. So could somebody please read it out?
Mataji, may I?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada's instructions on writing. Soon we will be instituting Bhakti Shastri examinations and all Brahmanas.
Sorry, Mataji.
No problem. And all Brahmanas will have to pass. So utilize whatever time you find to make a thorough study of my books, then all your questions will be answered. Letter to Upendra, 7 January 1976.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading it out. So I now invite your comments, questions, and suggestions. In my full capacity, I will try to answer them. And
I have a question, Mataji.
yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Mataji,
Hare
how the
Krishna.
results will be declared?
The results will be declared on WhatsApp. We'll intimate you. Your course coordinator will be forwarding that to you personally.
Okay, not in
We'll
groups,
be
right?
giving you a detailed, yeah. We'll be giving you a detailed feedback.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mataji, you took understanding-based personal application and teaching application. That was in connection to the theme of that particular question.
Yes.
As in, a question will be given, and on the basis of. So, my question is, I mean, all these themes will not be all together in one question, right?
No. There'll be just
Alright.
one theme.
Okay,
One
perfectly.
theme per question. And that will be specified to you. It'll be given. If we have a good look at our booklet, we already have a preset OBA questions. So you'll be getting a question from that itself. And underneath every question, there is under the brackets, we have the theme of that particular question. It'll be clearly notified to you. Don't worry.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I want to ask about more mood and mission. How to understand this mood and mission?
So it depends on question to question. Like basically, we have to take a specific example for this. See, when we read the particular verses which will be mentioned in the question, whatever context it will be for a particular context, right? So when we read those purports, we can understand what is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. There's a preaching mood. What is he exactly trying to reveal? For example, there can be a question like how a pure devotee carries the atmosphere of Vrindavan wherever he goes, right? So please explain the mood of Srila Prabhupada in this, right? So what would our answer be? Why is Srila Prabhupada saying that? He has said this thing in many lectures, right? So what is the purpose? The purpose is Srila Prabhupada always promotes that we perform our devotional service, all our 9 elements of bhakti, right? Wherever we are. Needn't run around that particular place. So whenever this is particular the mood of Srila Prabhupada while saying this, okay? So this you'll get it. It's very specific, basically. It depends on question to question. When we read the question, we read the relevant purpose, then only we understand it. Because it will be mentioned in the purpose. We need to read them again and again.
Okay, thank you very much, Nagri Mataji. So I guess we have covered everything we wanted to cover during this orientation session. In general, if you have any question, you can ask now.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Can you please explain once again about closed book assessment?
Yes, Shruti-Priya, can you please explain?
Yes, Mataji. So basically, like after every unit, there will be a closed book assessment, right? So that will be conducted online because it is closed book. It's like open book, you can like do it at your own pace and like that. But closed book assessment, it will be conducted online, and you need to be like present on Zoom while writing your assessment. It will be just an MCQ based, like multiple choice questions will be there, like 20 questions around for each CBA. So once we complete the unit, there will be that OBA, that CBA assessment. So for that CBA assessment, you need to prepare that particular unit, and specifically the question bank is also given for your convenience in the handbook. So that from that question bank, which is under the heading of preliminary self-study or Purva Swadhyay. So those questions you need to prepare for your CBA assessment, and also a set of analogies are also given. So these two things only you need to prepare for the CBA assessment, which is just an MCQ based assessment. Is that okay?
Yes,
Also, I want to make it clear that while you're giving your CBA, your cameras have to be on throughout. If your camera is not on, you'll not be allowed to do that CBA. So make sure when you sit for the CBA that you have a good internet connection, you have the cameras placed in such a way that we can see where you're sitting, what you're doing. So all that has to be in place for you to successfully complete your CBA. Okay? Any other question? Anyone else has anything to say? Okay, so looks like everything is clear. And as we go along, if any questions come up, you can ask in the group, and Shruti-Priya or Nagri Shiromani, depending on what your question is, they will be answering your questions. Okay, we are all here to serve you, and we wish you all the best. Yes, Prabhu, you have a question?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, so I believe we do not have the contact details of Shruti Priya Mataji and Nagri Shiromani Mataji. Yeah, I believe we do receive this intimation from some other Matajis in the group. So it would be good if they can mention their mobile numbers or how to reach out to them, because that group is, we cannot mention anything. It's admin enabled only.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so your sessions are starting from the 20th, and we wish you all the best. And actually, you all are very fortunate because this is a very special Bhakti Shastri course. It's been taught by all Bhakti Vedantas, so you are in good hands. So I think this is the first time it's happening in ISKCON that all the teachers are Bhakti Vedantas. So it's a very special course for you guys. So I wish you all the best. And we will be seeing you. And if you have any questions, you can ask Shruti-Priya or ask in the group, and we will try our best to resolve those questions for you. Okay? Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you on the 20th. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.